This is Weather Center Live. Thanks for joining us today. I'm meteorologist Chris Warren.
And I'm Jen Carfagno. The month of May begins today, May 1st. It's May Day, and a lot in the weather world, too, actually. A lot happens in May.
Including an early start, possibly.
Yeah.
An early start. We're talking about
weather. We're just going to have such a nice 2 days before the storms come back that I don't want you to forget about it, Chicago. We do have a great weekend, but then by Monday, storms back in the forecast, staying with us through Wednesday before we get the next break coming our way on Thursday. So what's happening, right? That's your question. We've got this split flow in our jet stream, and I'm going to take the northern branch of it. Chris is going to take the southern branch. We're going to be looking at this front dropping down here in the energy in the northern branch, coming in as we get into the latter part of the weekend. That's going to create some showers and thunderstorms across portions of the upper Midwest and the northern plains. It stalls out, and all the while it's starting to draw up more moisture back into the plains and into the Mississippi Valley. So that's going to add to the risk of thunderstorms. A lot of heavy rain is going to be possible, but also some severe weather is possible as well. Watching Sunday, maybe on Monday, but certainly on Tuesday, there's a better chance of seeing some active weather and some severe weather out there as well. We'll see this front draped all the way into the northeast, so by this time we'll see the showers on the move as well all across this area. And again, the rain could be heavy at times, especially right here across portions of the northern plains. Meanwhile, there is a southern look at today that we are stuck underneath some clouds and some rain and some showers, all because of an area of low pressure. Cape Hatteras, look at our forecast. Windy conditions. I mean, look at these winds, nearly 30 miles per hour. Just an awful day to be out here on the beach here. Certainly, it's not a beach day by any stretch here, but even about thinking about taking a walk, you will not want to today with the kind of weather we're dealing with. Area of low pressure. There's actually two kind of convoluted areas that we've been watching here, but in general, it's going to push some moisture still onshore. So from Norfolk down here through the Outer Banks, we're going to see the showers sticking around until our coastal low pulls away, and it will. You can see overnight tonight it does that, and by tomorrow we're in the clear. But you know, we still have about say 18 more hours left to deal with this here. That's what's happening. We've got this area of low pressure off the shore. You know, we also have this other disturbance that we were tracking yesterday into the Ohio Valley and parts of the Mid-Atlantic. Both of these kick out by the time we get into tomorrow. But for today anyway, it's going to keep the chance of clouds and rain around, and also keep these winds very gusty, especially right along the coast. Chris, we're going to be dealing with this here today. Kind of reminds you of the tropics a little bit, doesn't it? All right, Chris, so you revealed the names for the Atlantic hurricane season.
And we'll look at them again.
We'll look at them again. And we're talking about something potentially next week, whether it's tropical, subtropical, non-tropical. There's something out here the models are hinting to next week.
They've hinted at them for a couple of days, and you don't put too much credence into it a few days out. But it's getting closer now, and they keep saying that something is going to develop here, so we're paying more attention to it now.
And it's a good time really to review, you know, tropical stuff and review some preparedness as well. So when we take a look, first of all, at the season, this is early in the season. This is pre-season. It starts on June the 1st in the Atlantic, but it's happened before when we've had something develop in May in the tropics.
And we're looking at some of the same areas where it potentially could develop next week.
Yeah, so 2012, we had Alberto and Beryl. We've had some strong stuff happen in May as well. There actually have been hurricanes in the month of May, and we take you back to 1951 and Hurricane Abel. Again, end of May, right, very close to the beginning of the tropical Atlantic season, but it happened. So we're not saying this is going to be a hurricane, but we're saying that it's not unprecedented to get tropical activity in the month of May.
All right, and with the official start of hurricane season now a month away, today being the 1st of May, June 1st, the official start. Right now is really the perfect time to go over your evacuation plan.
Senior hurricane specialist Brian Norcross gets us up to speed with what you need to know whether you live in or vacation in a hurricane-prone area.
All right, so right now what we're going to do is show you the hurricane season forecast here, and keep in mind this is more kind of for general interest, because we always have to say
none of us like these.
Because the thing is, it only takes one hurricane to make landfall to make it a bad season. But with that being said, on average you're looking at 12 named storms, 6 hurricanes, and of that, the stronger variety, 3. Colorado State University issues its forecast as well.
And they're issuing a below-average season. The Weather Channel is issuing a below-average season, slightly busier than Colorado State University. Nonetheless, here, if any of these are strong, just one of them, it would make it a big season in your memory, right? All right, well, coming up, we are going to look at a streak that goes back. We have not done it yet, Boston. The last time we've been there was October 29th. Average high is 61, so I guess it's not that unusual. That said, Boston, we're in a long stretch of days without 70, and we're actually in the top 3. So right now, we've had 182 days and counting to put us number 3 on the mark here for days without 70 degrees. The number 2 spot, which is 194 days, which I don't think we'll make, I was interested to see, was this a snowy season, 94, 95? No, it wasn't. As it turns out, this was our 4th least snowiest season. So you cannot correlate a lot of snow to not getting 70 degrees necessarily. And at this point, all you care about is getting the short sleeves on and getting to 70. And looks like we will do it. We have a chance on Sunday. We have a better chance on Monday getting up to 75 degrees. We need that west wind, Boston, to warm us up here. And it looks like things are going to turn out that way by the time we get into.
It's amazing out there. It's time for the Amazing Out There Spring Tour. Weather Channel hits the road.
Meteorologist Kate Parker is live in Natchez, Mississippi. Thanks for staying with us on Weather Center Live. I'm Jen Carfagno.
And I'm Chris Warren. We're taking a look at the Derby. Also, what's cool about that is we're going to show you what role weather plays in the race itself as far as the track and how it affects the horses.
And it's not just about the rain, too. Heat,
yeah, there's a lot more going on than you might
think. And wind all play a role. So let's talk more about what's happening for us out there. That's one big story that we're following for next week, but we have another big one, and that is the chance of something tropical developing off the southeast coast. Now, let's show you how things are going to play out. We're going to start tomorrow and take you into next week. So the weekend looks quiet, right? But we're going to watch this area of high pressure shift out over the Atlantic, and then we see low pressure develop. And at first, we're looking at sort of an upper level low. We're thinking that there will be a surface low. The models, all of them, are hinting at something happening. This happens to be the USGFS model, which is what we refer to as the American model, and it sees something a little bit further offshore. But other models have stuff closer to shore, perhaps bringing some impacts to the coast. Some models have this area of low pressure stronger. Some have it as non-tropical. Some have some tropical characteristics. What this all says is that there is something to watch for next week, but there's still a lot of unknowns as to what it will be and exactly what kind of impacts it could bring. That said, though, there's a lot of things to look at here that points to the fact that, you know, there's signals in the atmosphere that we will have something that will bring some impacts to us here into the south and east. This is something that folks want to keep an eye on and stay tuned to the changes in the forecast. So first, we've got this upper level low that moves in, but then we look at that developing surface low pressure, and that's what we start getting concerned about. We start looking at where thunderstorms develop around it. We start to see how many thunderstorms are clustered near the center of it. Are we developing any circulation? What about the winds? How strong are the winds and how far out are the strong winds? These are all questions we'll be asking ourselves. And we look at the ingredients. One thing we talk about when it comes to tropical systems is warm water temperatures. For a tropical system to really get going, you need some warm water temperatures, and we do have water temperatures that are in the upper 70s. We are actually a degree or even 2 above average with our sea surface temperatures here in the Gulf Stream. So we are certainly have concerns as we see the model start pointing to something next week right around this. There's a lot going on. It's not just, it's been going on for weeks, right? A lot of events leading up to the Derby. The Oaks is today, the Kentucky Oaks. And by the way, I've got Ocean Wave is who I'm rooting for in the Oaks. I love the name.
You love the name?
Yeah. And great weather too, Chris. Look at this.
Wait, now you say guy. Does that mean you have like a ticket?
No.
You didn't go that far.
For.
That's who you're rooting for.
And I'm here, by the way. And not here. All right. So certainly we're going to be watching the weather here and also the weather for Louisville tomorrow for the Derby. And Chris, you look at some of the weather stats. Odds are that temperatures are going to be fairly nice, right?
Yeah, looking pretty good.
Weather history.
Odds are with us.
Yeah.
So we told you American Pharoah's odds of winning the Kentucky Derby are 5-2. Other horses are more like 20-1. 50-1 odds for the horse, which, like the name of it, Ocho, Ocho, Ocho.
So how do betting officials come up with those odds? Al Roker tells us how the weather can play a huge part in handicapping tomorrow's race. Hey, happy Friday, everyone. We're going to take a quick check of what's happening right now and start with the water vapor because it helps you point out a couple of things. And you see this general spin going on right here over the mid-Atlantic. This is a spot with really the toughest weather for today. It's rainy, it's cloudy. We've got a lot of strong gusty winds, and you can see the spin right here, but I need to show you the visible satellite because this really shows that area of low pressure right here spinning offshore. This is what's sending in all the clouds and the rain affecting you today in Virginia and North Carolina.